Hello, everybody in America. Happy Labor Day. It's Labor Day today. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of chilling out at home. The channel guy works and everything, so I figured I would do a little quick video going over Alex's Instagram, the past couple of posts. There's not many. We'll look at the posts. I'll give my opinions and we will read through a few comments. So, we're going to do this because she did not do a weigh-in today and I this week, and I wanted to start doing weigh-in reviews for her, but she did mention her weight and her weigh-in on her post about Anderson's birthday. So, Alex posted, this was 3 days ago, after celebrating our son's first birthday and eating some cake this week, along with other stuff, I did not lose any weight this morning's weigh in. And honestly, I'm 100% okay with that. I found that during a lot of exciting, special moments, I was picking at food and not tracking every little thing. I'm sure that added up. But overall, we had an amazing week, and I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Onward and upward. But the thing is even if you were just picking and off track that day, fine, it's your kid's birthday, special occasion, whatever. But for her size, if she would have been on track the rest of the week, she probably still would have had a small loss of some type. Or she could have done what a lot of people do, what I try to do, where I know I'm going to have a special. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Somebody just rode an electric bike by and I have our front door open, and that was just so loud and obnoxious. I apologize. But anyways, like I was saying, during a special event or occasion or holiday, just go a little tighter, tighten up the diet a little more the earlier that week, and then you won't be totally blown out of the water with your diet on whatever day you're going to be indulging. She still should have lost weight. She's still so big that, and she could still eat so many calories and stuff like that, that she could have still eaten decently and lost weight. Doesn't track calories, which is crazy. That this whole Weight Watchers points thing is just a bunch of crap, and it's not effective, and she doesn't really count them properly. She doesn't track properly. She does a lot of picking and stuff like that. She doesn't measure things properly. A lot of the time she just eyeballs it. If Alex was very serious about losing weight and being healthy and seeing many more of her son's birthdays, she would be taking this seriously. A couple of the comments under this post, let's see. Weeks 529 says, honest question. How come you only show the scale when you lose? I like following people's weight loss journeys and seeing their ups and downs, literally, of their weight. Because weight loss isn't linear and it's okay to go up some weeks. I just wish you'd show us the true ups and downs of your journey to show us transparency. That's correct. It's very true. I'll give that a heart. There are times you will be doing things appropriately, and on any given day you could fluctuate up or down. It's normal. Your weight changes constantly. It depends on inflammation, stress, sleep, how much you ate, if you've gone to the bathroom, how many carbohydrates have you had, are you retaining water. For women, hormonal fluctuations. Women, like I've admitted many times on the channel, during my time of the month, I can fluctuate upwards of 5 to 6 pounds, maybe a little more with that time of the month. So I just have learned it doesn't bug me anymore, but it can really throw you off and you feel like you're doing something wrong. But as long as you're staying on track and doing what you need to do, don't let those hormonal fluctuations get to you, because it will fall off as your period is ending. This person who wrote this comment, I guarantee, got dogpiled from Alex's stance, because if you say anything to Alex that isn't butt kissing and praising and amazing, they will give you shit and come at you with pitchforks and torches if if you say anything that isn't absolutely like worship, even if it's legit. And this comment was legit. Somebody, let's look at a couple of the replies. Yeah, and here we go right away. A couple of the replies say, Sweeks, she just said she didn't lose anything. So that's pretty transparent, I'd say. And Sweeks says, saying versus showing are two different things. And again, somebody responds, this is a stranger, so demanding proof is just a little weird, but that's just me. And somebody else said, right? Like, worry about your own self. And Sweeks says, well, when you publicize your weight loss journey, people like to see the true ups and downs. Crazy concept, I know. Yeah, I mean, her stands are just unhinged. And honestly, them being so all for Alex and not wanting to hold her accountable or tell her the negative things that, because there is such a thing as constructive criticism, it's not doing this hug box is not doing her any favors. It's clearly not helping her because she surrounds herself with yes men who just let her live in this delusion. I mean, clearly, look at this picture. We discussed it in the last video. She's clearly not losing weight, and she's definitely not 270 pounds. I bet you she's every bit of, like I said, about 320, 330. And she's a taller woman. I get it, but she should still only weigh, I mean, even if she just got down to 200, 215, she'd be a lot better and a lot healthier. She'd still be overweight, if not obese. Healthy weight range for her would probably be between like 150 to 170, but she just she had a blood clot and she's still extremely obese, and she just refuses to change food and her thoughts on eating. And she has all of these people just praising her and telling her, what you're doing is so great, you're doing the best, you're perfect. No, what she's doing is not working. She cleaned up her diet a little bit, yes. So at her size, I think she started at around 350. Maybe 360, not this 310 or 11 she was claiming. But when you're that big, just cleaning up your diet will cut down on carbs, calories, all that crap. And she's a carb junkie. She needs to be watching those freaking carbs because she's not active enough to eat as many as she does. Just cleaning up your diet at that size will net you some initial results. I think she initially lost maybe 10 to 15, 20 pounds, and then it's eventually going to stagnate and then stop altogether, and then you're going to maintain or gain, because you have to actually make big changes. When you're that big and you eat that much and you eat that poorly, if you aren't willing to actually make major overhauls, you're not going to see results. This woman does not need to lose 40 or 50 pounds. She needs to lose 150. So, probably closer to about 175. Then she only posted a couple times after that picture. This one is, okay, this was 2 days ago. It says, I haven't made one of my breakfast sandwiches in a bit. Greek yogurt dough is a major staple in our house. Who else? There should be no dough or bread or brownie or cookie or anything like that that's a staple in her house. I know people don't like carb hate. I don't hate carbs, okay? I love them. If I could live on them, I probably would. They serve a purpose, and most people eat more of them than they need to. Alex is not active enough to eat as many carbohydrates as she does. Now, this breakfast sandwich would not be bad if it was a couple days a week, okay, whatever, or this was her one meal a day that she had carbohydrates, okay? And these are very refined carbohydrates. It's not like she's getting these carbs from non-starchy vegetables or berries or something like that. This is very processed. The problem is this isn't all she eats. She's starting her day with carbohydrates, which is going to spike her blood sugar, then spike her insulin, cause more hunger, and then it's a vicious cycle. She'll have to keep re-upping, that little sugar fix that her brain is going to tell her she needs and wants. And she's going to crave food in general and carbohydrates all day. She should start her day, anyone should start their day with mainly protein and some good fat. If you have excess weight to lose, you still should not go crazy on eating too much fat. You still need to watch it. Alex will eat 3 meals a day plus 2 or 3 snacks a day, and usually a dessert once a day. Every evening almost she eats a dessert, and every single meal she eats contains carbohydrates, usually some sort of simple refined carbohydrate. That's the problem. She eats too many. She doesn't burn them off. Keeping your insulin elevated constantly, guys, is not good for your overall health. Inflammation, high insulin levels, they're learning more and more are the root of a lot of just overall malaise and chronic conditions. When your insulin is elevated, it greatly inhibits your ability to tap into your fat stores and burn fat. If you want to actually really try to get into burning your stored fat the most effective way possible, you want to keep your insulin levels low and steady. That's why lower carb diets work so well for weight loss and particularly fat loss. I'm not saying you can't lose weight eating carbohydrates. You can. It's just a lot more efficient and a little easier when you don't overeat the carbohydrates. Also, because of that slow and steady insulin level and blood sugar levels, when you don't excessively eat carbohydrates, you're fuller, your hunger goes down, your cravings go down, you stay fuller a much longer amount of time. You focus on protein and some good fats, non-starchy vegetables, things like that. You will be getting a lot of nutrition, all kinds of good things, and protein and fats are very satiating. So, but I've told this to Alex, other people have told this to Alex, until we're blue in the damn face, she just doesn't want to give up the food she likes. She doesn't want to give up her, and all the girls have this problem. Do you notice that all the girls, Alex, Amber, Anna, Foodie, they all are obsessed with carbs and they staunchly defend carbohydrates and their refusal to give them up. And look at all of them. None of them have success. None of them have good results. They all just keep getting bigger and keep getting worse with their health and overall well-being. I'm not saying don't eat them. I'm just saying modify them. And if you need to lose weight, do consider cutting them down and just being more mindful. I like Alan Roberts' advice about eating your carbohydrates. Eat them for one meal of the day and make it be a later meal. Let it be your dinner, because then you won't be going through those blood sugar spikes and craving spikes all day. And when your insulin is up, you will be asleep part of the time. So do like that advice. That's really good. Alex, like she doesn't care. She wants to be able to eat, literally have her cake and eat it too. And you just can't do that when you need to lose 150 pounds and you're addicted to food and you have problems with food. And she clearly does. They don't want to give up their carbs and their flour and their pastas and crap like that, because they also get an actual physical dopamine hit, a high from these foods. And she's got to be willing to let that go if she wants to really lose weight. And here's the last one. And this was from 2 days ago as well, and she got Chick-fil-A again. Non-scale victory today, and you'll notice that a lot of these girls who are not having scale victories because they're not doing what they need to do will focus to no end on non-scale victories because they aren't actually having scale victories. And when you need to lose a lot of weight, I'm sorry, non-scale victories are nice. I'm not discrediting them, but you need to have those scale victories. She says, on the weekend, I use my weekly points most of the time. So basically, I hate these weekly points. It just gives people a reason to save them up and then have a blowout. We see Alex admit she does it every weekend. Today we decided to get Chick-fil-A for lunch, and instead of my grilled nuggets, I wanted to splurge and enjoy my favorite spicy chicken sandwich. I do love a spicy chicken sandwich, but she already splurged earlier that week by having those regular nuggets and mac and cheese, plus the cake and whatever else at Anderson's party. You see what I mean? Like, if you're gonna splurge on the day of the party, don't do this shit the rest of the week. Then she says, about 2/3 of the way through, I noticed I was getting full and made the conscious choice to stop while I was comfortable and not feel sick. I've noticed since losing weight, my gastric bypass has definitely kicked in more than it has been. Stomach shrinking and eating too much makes me feel awful. I'm so proud of myself, of course you are, for listening to my body today. She says she's not on a GLP-1, but this gives me pause, and maybe it plants the seed that maybe she is, and she just doesn't want to admit it yet. But maybe not. Maybe she did just quit. The thing is her gastric bypass is not kicking in. She has blown that thing out of the water, and she's so far out from it at this point that it is no longer doing anything for her. And when you lose weight, when you're really big and you eat a lot, your stomach will stretch out. That's why if you look on my 600-pound life, Dr. Now will pull the part of the stomach out that he removes, and then they will stitch it up and fill it with fluid to get a size, on it. And these stomachs are huge. They're the size of footballs and more. They're gigantic. Your stomach is only naturally the size of your closed fist. So not that big, but they can stretch out greatly. Her stomach is probably stretched back out beyond a normal size stomach. She's definitely undone the gastric bypass. You can have your stomach shrink back down if you stretched it out over time, but it requires a long period of time of eating consistently smaller amounts so that it will shrink back down. Alex eats 3 meals a day plus 2 or 3 snacks every day. She isn't reducing the amount she eats enough to the point where she is seeing any real meaningful shrinking of her stomach at all. That's just that. It's not happening. I would bet everything. I would bet my house. I would bet our car. I would bet everything. So yeah, so she had this Chick-fil-A again. She had all the crap at the birthday party. She had those nuggets and everything the other day. She made those donuts. Do you see what I mean? She just has treats every day. It's all the damn time. And that is why she is not going to have any success. But that's all she said. Let me see if there's any comments worth reading on this one. Somebody questioned it. She said, gastric bypass kicks in? ? Let's see what somebody said. Somebody else said, yeah, I don't think that's how it works. Somebody said, huge accomplishment and you should be proud. It's not that big of an accomplishment though. An accomplishment for her would have been choosing to get a grilled sandwich, or better yet, make something at home and not get Chick-fil-A again this week at all. Anyways, that's what's going on right now in Alex's Instagram. I'm going to end this video here because there's nothing else to say. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little video. And if you are not having anything to say and you want to help me out and leave a comment, we are doing alphabet emojis in the comments. And today for this video, you're on J. So if you want to leave juice, do some kind of a juice. Don't drink juice, but leave a juice emoji of some kind in the comments. And I greatly appreciate you guys watching the videos. Ever since I came back and I've started reacting again, y'all have been here. You've stepped up. I've gotten 50 some new subscribers in the past week and a half, 2 weeks. And you're watching and interacting, and I am very grateful for you guys. It's so awesome. I am so happy. We are less than 100 subs away from hitting 2,000 on this channel, which I never thought I would do. And I'd like to get there before the end of the year, and I just want to make sure you guys know how much I love you and I appreciate you. Out of everybody you could watch, to choose to give me some of your precious time, I really do appreciate it. But all right guys, I'm gonna go get this edited and uploaded, and I will see you guys soon.